So you said there were 3 levels of buds. What were the 3? The first.
So the first phase is where you lose most of the guys, but you also learn how to do all the physical training that you do with the teams, and beach reconnaissance, like old school beach reconnaissance. Back in the World War II days. That's the type of stuff you do with buds. Yeah. And then you go into second phase, and that's dive phase.
Okay.
So underwater
is that
mobility.
I don't know if this is true, but I've heard there's a part where they dump you in a pool with a weight on you, and you tie your hands and feet, and you have to
drown proof. And you do all that stuff in first phase.
Okay. So second phase is more technical diving and stuff like that.
Yeah, a little more technical, but if guys want to get rid of you in second phase, they definitely can do that during the pool phases. Yeah. But you learn open circuit diving, closed circuit diving, so the bubbleless diving rigs, and you learn how to do ship attack, which is one of our niche missions in the teams. Yeah. And then you go into third phase, and that's land warfare. Go out to San Clemente, you live out on the island, you learn about all the primary weapons in the inventory. You learn about patrolling, doing over the beach type of missions, insertion extraction methods, and learning the basic standard operating procedures, the SOPs that are
standards. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to learn them at some point.
You got to learn the basics.
And you come back from that, and then they do it a little bit differently now. They roll the students into another whole 6-month long advanced training. Yeah,
because there's different tiers in the SEALs as well, right?
Yep.
Depending on what team.
But the way
it
worked back when I went through, we would go to a team before being given our bird, the trident, like you see behind me on the wall. Before you were able to put that.
Is it called the Budweiser? Is that the nickname for it?
Yeah, that's the nickname. Yep. You remember that from Kurt's dad, right?
Yeah.
But you'd be a new guy at the team for 6 months to a year, kind of in a probationary status, and this isn't how it is now, but this is how it was when I went through. And the team basically watched you for 6 months to a year. And you would be in the platoon, and the platoon would kind of work with the command to let the command know whether or not they thought you were good or not.
Whether you jogged.
And so you had to prove you might have already proved yourself at Buds, but you had to prove yourself all over again inside the SEAL team.
And you had to be. You weren't just being judged by officers. You were being judged by enlisted people, and also by NCOs, right? So that's an interesting aspect as well.
All the leadership team, majority enlisted, and warrant officers.
Was your role different when you got your emblem? Was it different than enlisted, or were you kind of lumped in with them until you when did the nature of you being an officer kind of kick in?
Well, they put me in a AOIC position, so that's assistant officer in charge.
Okay,
but you're still considered a new guy.
Yeah.
So you still have a ton to learn, but you're helping the OIC with fitness reports, with just standard paperwork that any military organization has to deal with. Yeah. So all that standard platoon level, it's about 16 guys. All that paperwork fell mostly on the 2 officers in the platoon. But you were a new guy, and you had a ton to learn. I had a ton to learn. Yeah. And that was, I think I learned more as a new guy in my first platoon than I did in all my previous time in the Navy.